In the spring, anti-Israel activists took over part of the main thoroughfare at the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor. Take a listen.
It's scary, it's terrifying. They have a sign that says, "Long live the Intifada." And that's just, a call back from the second Intifada and not a comfortable feeling. When I woke up this morning, I went to walk to class. It was the first time this semester I had to walk around the diag.
Now, the protests got more heated at different times throughout the year, and right now 11 participants in the protests, some of them students, some of them not, are being prosecuted. Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel's office alleges among the crimes committed during the 30-day takeover of the school are, quote, are ethnic intimidation and assault of a police officer, resisting arrest, misdemeanor trespass, destruction of personal property, and disturbing the peace. Now, when those charges were announced a few days ago, Michigan Democratic Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib of Michigan said that the charges were, quote, frivolous and a, quote, shameful attack on students' rights. And then Congresswoman Tlaib said, quote, it seems that the Attorney General decided if the issue was Palestine, she was going to treat it differently. And that alone speaks volumes about possible biases within the agency she runs, unquote. Now, that comment left some in Michigan, including Attorney General Nessel, with the impression that Congresswoman Tlaib was accusing Nessel, who is Jewish, with letting her religion affect her decision to prosecute, especially given the bipartisan vote in Congress last November to censure Congresswoman Tlaib for her comments about Israel. That's part of the context here. We asked Congresswoman Tlaib to come on the show today to clarify. She did not respond to our request. We asked her office to clarify what bias does Nessel have, or her office, and they did not give us an answer. But Attorney General Nessel joins us now. So let's get to the heart of this. You called Congresswoman Tlaib's reaction to your office's charges and her allegation that you and your office have bias. You said that was anti-Semitic. Why?
Well, look, for her to say that I could handle a litany of other cases and that was fine, but when it comes to anything involving pro-Palestinian protesters, I could not be fair. I could not be objective. And I don't think you have to be Angela Lansbury to figure this out, right? Clearly, she's referencing my religion as to why she thinks I can't be fair. She also mischaracterized the charges, and I think quite intentionally. I mean, she talked about this being peaceful protesters. No peaceful protesters were charged in this event. And Rashida's a lawyer. She had every opportunity to call me to ask to see the evidence in this case, but she didn't do that. I have to rely on the facts, the law, and the evidence when I go into a court of law. And that's what we evaluated in this case. And that's the only thing that we evaluated in terms of making a determination as to these charges.
I should note that I misspoke yesterday when asking a follow-up of Governor Whitmer, who I asked about this. I was trying to characterize your views of Tlaib's comments. What do you make of those today, noting that Congresswoman Tlaib never explicitly said that your bias was because of your religion, and so it's unfair for you to make that allegation?
Well, a couple things. First of all, in 2022, when my opponent accused me of being a groomer and a pedophile, everyone understood that those were homophobic remarks because I happen to be gay, right? I didn't have to explain it to people. Rashida Tlaib is an individual who's well known for making inflammatory and incendiary remarks that are anti-Semitic in nature. So this isn't the first time that we would have heard these words out of her mouth. I think it's very clear to everybody exactly what she was saying. But I have to say this, it is my job to keep communities and campuses around the state of Michigan safe. And that is exactly what we're doing. I understand that the Congresswoman has very strong feelings about what's happening in the Middle East. So many people do here in the state of Michigan. But, that doesn't excuse criminal behavior. And the answer to what's happening in the Middle East clearly is not to have chaos and anarchy and lawlessness on our college campuses in a way that jeopardizes the safety of students.
It's my understanding that the University of Michigan is not displeased with charges being brought against people who were not peaceful protesters.
The university has not commented to me anyway, one way or another. These cases were submitted to my office and we did a fair and impartial and extensive review. And again, this evidence will be presented in a court of law. But I don't think it's helpful to anyone to have the Congresswoman commenting on the, the merit of these cases when she's not familiar with the facts or the evidence.
So I just want to note that the governor of Michigan, when I asked her about this disagreement between you and Congresswoman Tlaib, didn't really weigh in. She said that she specifically said she wasn't going to get into a disagreement. But today she issued a statement saying, quote, "The suggestion that Attorney General Nessel would make charging decisions based on her religion as opposed to the rule of law is anti-Semitic. We must use our platform and voices to call out hateful rhetoric and racist tropes." What did you make of what she said yesterday and her comment today, Governor Whitmer?
Well, I certainly appreciate her statement today. I will say this about Governor Whitmer. We've had a very close personal and professional relationship. I think we've worked really well together over the course of our time in these offices. She supported me, and she also supported the Jewish community. So, I just think it's important that we focus on maintaining safety, security, and, frankly, make sure that people around the state of Michigan know that irrespective of what's happening in the Middle East, people are going to be protected here in the state of Michigan.
Thank you so much, Attorney General Dana Nessel. And for clarity, Congresswoman Tlaib's office did respond to our original interview request, but did not answer any follow-up questions. Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel, thanks so much. Coming up next.